Hey everyone, it's your tech buddy Salih Tech here. And today we're going deep into the world of GPUs. But not just the ones breaking frame rate records. We're talking about the flops, the fails, the ones that make you wonder, what were they thinking? Get ready for some serious laughs and maybe a little bit of cringe as we uncover the stories behind the absolute worst GPUs ever made. You know, the ones that even Linus from LTT wouldn't touch. First up, we have a classic. This is the Nvidia GeForce FX 5800 Ultra, a name that might ring a bell, but not for the right reasons. See, this thing was nicknamed the Dustbuster, and no, it wasn't because it sucked at performance, though it kind of did that too. This GPU was so loud it literally sounded like a vacuum cleaner running full blast in your PC case. We're talking jet engine levels of noise here, people. Imagine booting up your favorite game, and instead of that satisfying hum of your rig, you get hit with the roar of 1,000 hair dryers. Yeah, not ideal. And the worst part, it wasn't even that powerful. It struggled to run even the most basic games of its time. Next up is a card that promised the world but delivered, well, let's just say it left a lot to be desired. The ATI Radeon 8500. Now, on paper, this thing looked like a beast. It had all the latest tech, promised amazing performance, and was supposed to blow the competition out of the water, but in reality, it was more like a gentle splash. Drivers were buggy, performance was inconsistent, and it just couldn't keep up with the competition. It's like that friend who talks a big game but then chokes when it actually matters. The Radeon 8500 was a major letdown for a lot of gamers back in the day. Chapter 3. Nvidia GeForce GTX 480, the human torch of GPUs. Alright, moving on to a GPU that's infamous for its heat output. I'm talking about the Nvidia GeForce GTX 480. This thing was an absolute space heater. Seriously, it ran so hot you could probably cook an egg on it. We're talking temperatures so high that people were worried about their PCs melting. Gamers were forced to get creative with cooling solutions, adding extra fans, liquid cooling, you name it. It was like having a miniature sun inside your computer case. The GTX 480 might have had some decent performance, but its heat output was legendary, and not in a good way. The S3 Graphics ViRGE, the 3D nightmare. Now let's talk about a GPU that was supposed to revolutionize gaming, but ended up being a complete disaster, the S3 Graphics ViRGE. This was back in the early days of 3D graphics, and the ViRGE was supposed to bring affordable 3D acceleration to the masses. But instead of smooth gameplay and immersive graphics, it delivered a jumbled mess of glitches, artifacts, and performance so bad it was almost comical. It was like trying to play a game through a kaleidoscope while riding a roller coaster. The ViRGE became infamous for its terrible performance and quickly faded into obscurity. Intel i740, Intel's failed GPU experiment. And finally, we have a GPU from a company you might not expect on this list. Intel. That's right, even the chip giant has had its fair share of missteps in the GPU world. The Intel i740 was their attempt to break into the discrete graphics market, but let's just say it didn't go as planned. Performance was abysmal, drivers were buggy, and it was quickly overshadowed by competitors like Nvidia and ATI. The i740 became a prime example of why Intel has mostly stuck to integrated graphics ever since. RIP to these tech fails. And there you have it, folks, the worst GPUs ever made. From the jet engine noises of the FX 5800 Ultra to the scorching heat of the GTX 480, these GPUs have earned their place in tech infamy. But hey, at least they make for some funny stories, right? If you enjoyed this trip down tech memory lane, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more tech goodness, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Until next time, keep your GPUs cool, your frame rates high, and your tech game strong.